evening. Good evening, everybody. Oh man, so we are back. This is another Tuesday. And please forgive me again because I'm not in my normal space, but I'm definitely in the place. And I definitely want to thank our platform host, Tony Renfro, for hosting us again on this Tuesday, the Knowledge is Power podcast family, for welcoming us into their uh, windows of their souls and their ears as well. So
What happened?
yeah, I don't know what happened,
You
but
back?
anyway, I don't know what happened. Do y'all know what happened? Or I was the only one
No,
that got kicked out?
you got kicked out.
Oh, okay. Well then, we still here. I came running back because they tried to kick me out. What's up, Dustin? Man, what's going on? Oh man. So like I was saying, I definitely want to welcome each and every one of y'all back to the Roundtable Talk Show. Of course, I'm your host, Christopher Unk Jones. And tonight isn't about comfort. It's 100% about comprehension. Like, do you understand? Or like the French would say, you comprends? So the federal shutdown ended, but let's be honest, that wasn't the fix, especially with what the eight did. It was a reset of the same hustle that was, of course, played in 2016. If y'all could recall, government shutdown happened under this same, I don't know what to call him, y'all, the same atrocity that we have in the in the White
Very
House
good.
currently. But eight Democrats crossed the line, shook hands with the felon in a flag tie, and told us, "Hey, this is what's best." Or the government's open again, yay! Right? Open for who though? That's the question. Open for who? And because we don't see workers, especially federal workers, who made commitments to serve the people of this country. I mean, like, were they made whole? Did they get their back pay, Dustin? Did did any of those individuals, workers? I'm talking about federal workers. Did they that were furloughed? Did they get their back pay?
No.
Um, no. Just wondering. I mean, I don't see SNAP restored. Is it restored, Dr. Campbell? Has it? I mean, like the federal government is open, but has SNAP been restored? Being that these eight individuals,
I don't think that both the House and the Senate has voted on it yet. I don't. I think only one voted for that. I don't think
boom,
it's all
boom,
the way open
boom.
yet.
See, so I don't see justice rolling down, especially especially when my co-hosts be like, "Nah, that ain't no, they ain't come to. They just signed. Eight people just signed to open the federal government so that
They said that they would go along with the Republicans. They would vote with them, but I don't think it's passed in both houses yet.
s- mm,
I could be
so
wrong.
hmm
Destin, check that for us.
um I guess, and then the same man has the gall to say during this campaign trail, I don't know if y'all remember, you might not have to vote again. It's no need to vote again. And many people laughed, especially those people that were there. It's not a joke.
Not at all.
That's nothing to laugh about. Um, and neither is his cognitive decline. You really have an incompetent individual that's running the free world. But that's neither here nor there, because again, obviously we're not saying something right. So um they can rule without you, obviously. Feed war before they feed the people, obviously. um and then fund defense before they fund dignity, or before they fund decency, or before they fund order. And you know that's what we're dealing with, family. We're living through a soft coup with a loud silence, and it's so loud my ears are bleeding. And the only question left is, will we stay citizens or settle for subjects? Now let's talk about it. Of course, riding this truth train with me tonight. um Usually it's three minds, but we got three minds at this table. Dr. Campbell, say hello to the people.
Hello, people.
Absolutely. This is my sister in policy and purpose, forever connecting the spirit to the state, the statue. Um, if it ain't in the law, we ain't read it. I promise. Perry Busby, I'm sure he may tip in here in a little while, but he's the data man, the receipts man. He follows the money until it confesses where it's been, where it's going, and who put it out there. Dustin Harris, say hello to the people.
What up?
Absolutely. That is the voice of the bridge. Excuse me, the bridge builder, translating chaos into clarity, as well as um now we can't say that. Dr. Campbell say don't cuss. So yeah, he's transferring chaos into clarity for everybody, everyday folks. Um, and of course, if you want to be a guest on the show, please reach out to our platform host with guest in the subject for the roundtable talk. So, like I said, the coup didn't come on tanks or the backs of many soldiers running rampant in everybody's streets. Some, but not everybody. It came in tailored suits, though. Shutdowns used to mean a crisis that they are trying to avert or come to a real compromise, right? Now, their currency. War budgets kept rolling, corporate contracts kept paying, and poor folks, I want to let you know, I don't care what color you was, poor folks were told, be patient, get yourself together, pull yourself up by your boots and the straps, because we know that most of y'all don't have no souls on there. But hey, you're gonna be all right. Tighten your belt loop. You're gonna be all right. That's not governance, y'all. Every government, like, professor is scratching their head trying to figure out what is, you know. Yeah. So I just want you to know that our government is for sale to the highest bidder, 100%. And then when the leader tells you straight face, you might not have to vote again. Believe him that that's not prophecy. That's planning. That's what he plans on doing. Like pushing you into a space where you don't ever have to vote. And we're gonna get into those particular ways that you'll never have to vote. So, Dr. Campbell, you ready for your shot?
Ready.
Absolutely. Um, So, for our first segment, which is soft, cool, loud silence, the president jokes about dictatorship and the country shrugs. When both parties fund war and policy before people, is it still democracy or just coordinated cruelty?
Say it
It's
one more
reworded.
time.
It's reverted into.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Would you say what? No.
That ain't what I'm looking at. Okay.
So
So
the you got it.
go ahead.
So let's see. Gotcha. When a president mocks elections and both parties act like it's just another soundbite, what does that say about the real conditions of this democracy or illusion of this democracy?
It says that the guardrails are gone. When disrespect for the process itself isn't a deal breaker for either party, it means protecting power has become more important than protecting democracy. It means that we're treating a 5 alarm fire like background noise.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
Straight up. And
Straight up.
like the crazy part about it, it's the background noise that's louder than the noise in the front that's on the mic.
Right. Political leaders are they mock elections and parties are treating it like it's normal. And the core issue is the normalization of undermining democratic institutions. The president's mockery and the party's reaction reveal a deeper problem. Democratic
Yes.
principles become partisan tools, which is so not good for the people.
At all. At all. Um Dustin, you ready for your shot?
Yep.
All right. So, for everyday families trying to keep the lights on and food in the fridge, how does this federal betrayal show up in their lives now, not next election?
Well, nothing is showing up exactly right now
Hmm.
because currently they would have to actually be betrayed twice before it actually starts affecting them. Because this was only the vote. So, what, I'm gonna say it, but it sounds weird. This was the vote to have a vote to
Mm,
reopen the government. So
exactly.
technically, they would have to stab their own voters in the back twice
Mm,
in order to actually move forward with this process.
Hmm.
So basically, they just said, but the thing is, a few of them are retiring, so they don't really care.
Right.
One of them, I believe, is thinking about switching to being a Republican anyway,
Right.
and the other one's not up for election for a whole nother year. So those eight know there's no consequence for their actions. So
Right.
therefore, they went ahead with their actions. But the people, you still got a chance. You can call, you can harass them, you can bother them, you can give them some emails, a phone call, try to get them to change their mind because you could tell they flip floppy. So
Hmm.
go ahead and get that information, reach out to them. That they very it's very public of who the eight was, so it ain't hard to figure them out. Go ahead and
Right.
get them a couple rings because by the time they actually do the vote, because they're not going to do it immediately because they still got to figure out how not to let Snap go, how not to approve the healthcare what it is so they can double everybody insurance rates. They still got
Right.
to figure that part out first. And then they're gonna have this little voting situation. So as of right now, you're in the whole type pattern.
What you say? You're in purgatory.
Yeah, just hold tight. Get comfortable.
Golly. Golly. Dr. Campbell, you wanna take Perry shot?
I will.
Dustin? Oh, okay. I was about to say Dustin. You can have it. Dr. Campbell, on behalf of Perry, look at the data and money trail and let us know who gets paid every time the government shuts down or reopens. And if you could, which corporations never miss a dime? I'm talking about at all. no matter what's going on.
Sure. When the government grinds to a halt, it's not the giant defense contractors or big IT firms who feel the pain. They get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Look at companies like Lockheed Martin or Raytheon. Their massive contracts for national defense are deemed essential. The work doesn't stop and the money doesn't stop flowing. It's
Right.
business as usual. The same goes for the tech giants modernizing government systems like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft. Their cloud contracts are critical infrastructure. Shutdown or not, the bills
Mm.
for these services keep coming and keep getting paid. So while the national parks close and federal workers miss paychecks, these corporations have ironclad, untouchable contracts. The chaos is just noise to their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
It reveals a system that where the biggest players are insulated from the political games, and that safety net is baked right into the budget,
Hmm.
so they don't miss a dime.
A daggum dime. A daggum dime. Um, I will say, I will say, one of the biggest is the military industrial complex.
Hmm.
Military industrial complex do not miss a
They
federal
don't.
dime,
Mhm.
as well as the prison industrial complex.
Right.
They don't miss a BB. I promise they not gonna miss sleep because of it. But I don't know if y'all have heard, Texas residents, y'all being sued by some of your prison contractors, because crime wasn't like they thought, or wasn't where they were expecting it to be, especially when it came to the numbers in those beds. Now, we do hear quite often about the prison overpopulation and this, that, and the other, but we are being sued, Texas, because we ain't gave them enough, the private prisons. We ain't gave the private prisons enough bodies uh, to fulfill the commitment that they
It ain't the
made.
first time.
Correct. I knew somebody was gonna say it.
It's
I
not the
knew
first
somebody
time,
was
not the
gonna say
last time. It's just gonna keep being. Cause heck, I think even the president Beaumont sued at one point because they ain't have enough people in their bed, so their money was looking funny, and their stocks was down. But hey, what do I know? I ain't even know you buy stocks in prisons. But
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Just like them bonds that me and Dr. Campbell was asking the city about, that we still didn't get no, you know,
you
you
still ain't.
know. We still ain't. We ain't gonna get no response about that.
They're government
Um,
bonds. Yes, right.
like we don't know. Play with somebody else, man. Um, my shot is when leadership threatens democracy with a smile. Um, no, I'm sorry. That's not my
Let
shot.
me give you your shot, sir.
Give me my shot then, Queen, because I'm scrolling through a whole bunch of stuff.
If
Give me my
civil
shot.
disobedience has
Mhm.
been rewritten to mean terrorism, how do we fight back with the intelligence and organization, not blood and headlines?
Well, I will say one of the things that we have to do. I'm sorry. One of the things that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take our feelings and
Mhm.
emotions out of this game. Second thing
Absolutely.
we're going to have to do is we're going to have to think very strategic. And this comes with the separation or identifying individuals who are with you and identifying individuals who are just tagging along. Uh,
Mhm.
Perry said one of the things yesterday. How many of us are willing? I mean, not yesterday, but on the last show, how many of us are willing to fight outside of just sustaining or being resilient, right? Um, I think one of the major factors that Dr. Campbell, Dustin Perry, even guests who've been on our show have said that we do have to identify as well as show up to the polls. And
Mhm.
one of the things that I constantly tell people in our community about some of these things that are going on or going awry in our community um, is if you're ready to bleed, you're ready to bring people to the next phase. But if you're ready to procrastinate, you the sellout. And so identifying those individuals are very key. And then taking our that information, our engagement, building collaboratives, moving to a space or moving to a mindset of true community, right? Where we're no longer depending on uh, the turnout, the shutdown, the restart, the vote, or any of those things. Because again, you asked me, we're looking at what I call and have called on several occasions the hostile government takeover. And if if those things aren't managed properly, then we're going to be off. We're going to be in a worse position. We're going to be way worse than what we currently are. Wondering about food stamps, wondering about my social security, wondering about my pension, wondering about my insurance, wondering about my health care. I heard a very good friend of mine say that even though these things have happened, her or have not happened completely, she's feeling the brunt of it because her insurance co-pays, this is what you pay out of pocket, and deductibles are increasing. And it's not just this one friend. I have a I have a queen on the line that
Mm.
is saying she's seeing increases in things that's coming out of her pocket, and there is no increase in what comes into her pocket. So
Amazing. In a
you,
major
you
way.
know in a
Perry
in a
is
major way.
backstage.
So you know
Perry is backstage.
Tony, could you bring Perry up? He's backstage. Thank you, sir. Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, big bro. Flashpoint for this particular segment is when leaders say you may never need to vote again. What's your response? Is it one, laugh it off, two, pray and wait, or three, organize now or organize ago? Um, put that in the chat. When leaders say you may never need to vote again, and I don't care what the leader is, your local leader, your state leader, or your federal leaders, what's your response? One, laugh it off like it's a joke. Number two, pray and wait. Or number three, organize now. Know your rights for this particular segment. Of course, we're on the national level. You still have the First Amendment. I just want you to know whether the government shut down or skyrockets or take the next rocket to wherever Elon Musk is trying to send us. The First Amendment is your right, and um, it is still active. Use them strategically, please. Use them strategically. Document, assemble, and publish truth before they can call it subversion. Freedom of Information Act is your weapon. It is your weapon. It is your weapon. Demand names, numbers, contracts, and receipts. Ask for it all. Um, It's your money. You paying these people to operate, to govern for you. And uh if if I could say what I hear on social media a lot, hey Mr. George, you are the operator? He's no good operator. He's not a good operator. Fire them. Fire them with, I mean, like with power. Just let them know. Don't even think about running again. I don't care if you switch parties. Don't You're not gonna ever get in this seat. Connect with local legal defense coalitions now before crisis hits. Because everybody else gonna be up in there trying to get it too. So um your protests are lawful. Your people protected. And your message can't be twisted. Your land can't be grabbed just because they know that you build it. Roundtable question for this particular segment is, if national leadership has made clear they'll protect empire before people, what does a new loyalty um, to each other, not the system, really look like in real time or in action? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
It looks like building your own table instead of begging for a seat at theirs. It's mutual aid networks, not waiting for FEMA. It's pooling money in a community fund, not a big bank. It's watching your neighbor's back when the system won't. It's putting our dollars in our own businesses and our energy in our own schools. It's sharing information and resources hand to hand, block by block. It's a deep knowing that the cavalry ain't coming.
Hmm.
So we become our own cavalry for us, by us. Period. Mic drop.
Mic drop. And I mean mic drop. Period. Welcome, brother. I'm gonna go let you get yourself together because we can't see you. And we're gonna
Okay,
toss the mic. We're gonna toss the mic to Dustin and then we're gonna come back to you. That's all right?
cool. Let's go.
All right, cool. Dustin, you got the floor.
Oh, stop voting and moving along party lines like you're in a gang, or them people that's running for office are your friends. Treat them like the individuals that they are.
Hmm.
Because me, I don't believe in a political party, and I don't really care when people talk to me about political parties. It actually get on my nerves because I research everybody. I don't care what gang colors you wearing for the day, because when it hits the fan, you gonna go for whatever best for you anyway. So I'm gonna go for whatever's best for me and my people, no matter what gang flag you got hanging out your back pocket.
Right, right. Perry, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'm a piggyback on Dustin, because that was the study done a few years ago by a political scientist that said that usually when it came to our federal races, we usually did more uh deep dive into the deep dive into the candidates, not just
Hmm.
what their platform was, but who they were as people and how they resonated with us, which was very different than how we choose our local candidates, because local candidates we usually choose based on our familiarity
Hmm.
and has less to do with their character background. But in the last, I would say since 2016, they've noticed that the same attitudes that we use in our local races has been the same attitude that we've seen federally.
Hmm.
And so when you get people that sort of speak to your human nature, you find out that your human nature can't control government or can't manage government. And that's where we are now. We have people that spoke to us sort of in that gut feeling at the moment, but we find out our gut feelings at the moment can't run government. And so I say all that to say, so whether you say that, as Dustin said, whether you say that's Republican or whether you say that's a Democrat, when you find out that your leaders cannot support your initiatives or cannot speak to your causes, that's more of a human capital position. And that's what we keep saying about voting against your needs and voting against your causes. And we've seen this now. I mean, it's not just at the federal level. It's at the county level when we
Right.
have city council representatives that can't understand that our initiative goes beyond a ditch cleaning or curves and gutters on our streets.
Yeah. Yeah. um, I will say loyalty means feeding, loyalty means teaching and protecting and serving each other when the state, the county, the city, and or the Fed, um, when they don't want to. I'm not gonna say that they won't. They don't want to. Our I don't know what to call him, y'all. 45, 47 went to the Supreme Court or was about to go to the Supreme Court to keep you from getting food stamps. He don't want you with him, period. So I mean, what are we being loyal to? And I'm trying to figure this out. And I really want to know this from like many of the supporters to this movement, if you want to call it that. Like, what what are, what are we supporting? I mean, like, what we being loyal to? I see who, but I'm just trying to figure out what we getting out of it, right? I mean, like, my big brother told me a promise ring. Nah, man, we just have to do more than that. We we have to offer our communities more than that. Like Dustin said, like Perry said, like like Miss Cat say almost all the time. Um, if we not reaching back, if we not giving insight to the next generation, if if we're not engaging in a manner that shows them how to move and maneuver in today's space and time, they gonna get mowed over just like our great grandparents did when the cassette came out. Cause you remember they was listening to 8 tracks and vinyls. Yeah, they gonna get mowed over just like the cassette did. And it's crazy because they're the next generation, y'all. Oh, all right. People over politics, y'all. Just remember that. People over politics. People over politics. And the I'm not talking about the policy of politics. I'm talking about the mess of politics. The stuff we keep seeing currently is the mess of politics. That's why many in our community uh, say that they don't engage in politics because of this very thing, these very things. Um, segment two. Um, this, of course, is our state topic, and in this topic, we're going to definitely identify the new Confederacy when state rights means corporate rule. Um, of course, they dressed up the Confederacy in new suits and called it states' rights. I mean, like 45, 47 always says, that's states' rights. We even mentioned that a little bit on the show before. But governors act like CEOs, citizens are line items. and they strip home rule charters, sell our water, sell our power, privatize the prisons, privatize the schools, or voucherize the schools, um, and dare us to do anything or say anything about it. But what I will say is that uh, here in the state of Texas, with all the removing of districts and redrawing lines, y'all didn't think we was gonna move on them other They didn't think we was gonna engage and become active on the other side of that line. So now you in trouble twice. Cause California done moved forward. And Texas done caught up and found a loophole in your own system. So run that beautiful beam footage because we're gonna control that too. Because individuals again see how you playing out here. And we've identified that you are really playing in the face of the people. So, um, I just definitely want to let it be known to our state elected officials. I don't care again whether you Republican, Democrat, Independent. Texas leads the pack, and foreign investors at the table, locks loaded on our pocket. You banking on me. You banking on me to pay my taxes. And then on top of that, after the 17 propositions passed, you get a safety net because you got more money than me. Man, if y'all don't stop playing in people's face, they're not guarding liberty here in the state of Texas. They're auctioning it off to the highest bidder. I promise y'all. And if you paying attention, Mr. Elon Musk must be the highest bidder because even the foreign oil ain't getting as much attention as he is. Dr. Campbell, you ready for your shot?
I'm ready.
When your state government can overrule your city's will, what does that say about freedom and what's left of local democracy?
Well, when state government override local decisions, a real democracy is no longer in place. It actually touches on federalism, which is a power imbalance that emphasizes the tension between state and local control. It says your local control is just a loan from the state, and
Hmm.
they can call in that debt at any time.
Any moment.
Here, here's an example. If your city votes for higher wages, cleaner water, or police reform, a handful of politicians at the state capitol can wipe it out with just a single vote.
Hmm.
What's left of local democracy? The illusion of it. You get to decide the small stuff, but the moment your will clashes with their agenda, your freedom is overruled.
Hmm.
It's a system designed to keep real power in the hands of a few.
I promise. I promise. Pierre, you ready
Like
for
that,
your shot?
like that shadow government, huh?
That shadow government is big too. I just really want people to know. I really want people to know. Pierre, you ready for your shot?
I'm ready.
Oh man. Follow the money. Now, of course, you're gonna show us the receipts though. Who profits when public services become corporate franchises, and how does that cash flow silence accountability?
Wow, that's a tough one now. We, we see not just a shift in money, but just a shift in policy. As we begin to see the privatization of, uh, I'll point to this very one, to the post office, which is the only entity, government entity, written into the Constitution. And now we see the privatization of the Postal Service, or at least the push to privatize our Postal Service. We see the same thing happening in terms of insurance, and now you see Trump now trying to do a balancing act while trying to save the insurance companies, but
Mm-hmm.
also now floating out this subsidy that I'm going to give you a direct payment that goes outside of insurance. So they understand that with this big beautiful bill, which is what this shutdown really boils down to. Because on one hand, they're saying uh uh we're going to keep the government moving, and so therefore you at least get a paycheck. But on the other side, whether you're a government worker, whether you're working, whether your insurance is paid for by your employer,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting less coverage for your health for the money.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so when we look at this, we've seen a shift of money, but not of equity and not a quality of health in the process.
I totally agree. I totally agree. Especially quality when it comes to individuals that may not be insured
Right.
or individuals that may not be fully insured.
Yeah. And let me just add into this. I'll add my own as a contractor. Uh, my health insurance is part of my compensation package,
Mm-hmm.
not and I think that is really just one of the worst things that American health system has done for us as individuals is tie our health care to employment.
Right. Right. Because even Uber drivers don't get good health care. I mean, they
No.
get insurance if they get in an accident while they are, in a commute.
Yeah, but
But
even
they
if you're a white
outside
collar
of that,
worker,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you're a white collar worker, if you get yeah, now you see mid management getting laid off by the thousands.
Hmm.
And while mid management may look and act as if they are the C suite, the corporate executives, they aren't. And so now they're now pushed into the same boat as those receiving SNAP benefits, as those receiving WIC, as those receiving Medicare.
TANF, yeah, yeah, yeah. Dustin, you ready for your shot, brother?
Yeah.
Everywhere we look, states are daring citizens to react violently. How do we walk that line between righteous anger and strategic restraint?
Well, what we're gonna do is continue to play sideline quarterback with this thing. Let them keep making them look more and more to figure out how to justify unleashing the police, the law enforcement, and National Guard against these non-black crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess they ain't figured it out yet because they ain't done nothing. So, because they done desensitized America through acts, movies, the news, and all that. They done desensitized America to Black and Native American deaths. So they need us to act rowdy. So without us, there sure is a lot of peaceful protests that get to end peacefully. Weird how that works.
Looks like we're recognizing that they're trying to set a trap, huh?
Facts. That's what we recognize, Queen. And that's why so many of us have checked out. hmm We'll tap a little bit more on that on the local subject, though. Um, my shot, Queen. You gonna give me my shot again, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mhm. Let me see here. Because I had a whole lot on Dustin's. Hold on. Hold on there. Okay, there you are. If state power has replaced law with contracts, how do we build new systems of people government that make the old system irrelevant?
So, on this show, we often say something a lot. Um, Elections start local.
Mhm.
Elections happen local. Elections impact local. And so, like, I would, I'd have to kind of mimic that.
Absolutely.
We start local.
From the
Um,
ground up. That's right.
I mean, like from the cradle to the grave, we have this embedded even in the person that's about to give birth, so that the standard no longer leaves its place and the people that said it, right? Um, of course, we always tell you to document everything. Do just like the police tell you. If you see something, say something. And if you can't say nothing, write it down. If you can't write it down, send an email to yourself. If you can't send an email, text yourself. Take a
Mhm.
picture, send it to you. So that as you compile this information, you're building what a lot of people have or are believed to be nothing. Or well, I'm not doing that. I'm just watching them. That means a lot. That's a lot. Watching, documenting, um, you know, building an alliance across counties. Jefferson County is just as bad as Harris County when it comes to environmental racism or environmental injustices. Um, Jefferson County is just as bad as Plaquemine Parish when it comes to environmental racism. So those collaboratives that we see, those things that we see that plague many of our communities, regardless of if it's a community that's across the street or one I'm trying to build somewhere else, we still have to understand that there's a collective that needs to be made. We're not the only one that's suffering or going through these processes or have gone through these processes. And so in some instances, you're gonna have to build alliance across counties. They want us isolated. They want every last one of you isolated. Um, so that your uprising is then considered to be a tantrum. Oh, he just mad. Don't worry about it. He just mad. It's just a tantrum. But if everybody is saying and is mad and aggravated over the same thing and approaching that thing with resolve, that thing has one or two things: either fight back or succumb. And according to what we're looking at in today's society, many of us have succumbed to these atrocities. Um, and in that space, we need to give coordinated networks, just like your army supports your air force, that supports your navy, that supports your marines, that supports the United States of America. That's a network. each one of those branches, although individually we'll be like, oh, they ain't nobody, they ain't nobody. But we know how important our Marines are to this country. We know how important our Air Force is to this country. We know how important the Navy is to this country, as well as the Army and all of its facets, right? And so, in all of those, in one branch, you got several networks. So just imagine, if you would, the networks that's in one branch bridging over into another branch to create other networks. That is one of the main reasons why people power is very strong, because without people, our military is piss poor. And the networks that we have mean nothing. So take that same idea from our military, or those same practices from our military, and import them into your community. Every act of transparency is a threat to tyranny. I want y'all to know. Every act of transparency is a threat to
Mm-hmm.
tyranny, including the tyrant.
That's right.
Flashpoint, chat, if you would, respond to this. When the states sell your land and silence your voice, who do you hold accountable first? Put a one in the chat if you hold accountable the elected officials. Put a uh,
Two.
two in the chat for corporate partners, and put a three in the chat for yourself for believing them. Which I thought I was gonna let y'all get away. No, this is accountability. This is the table, baby.
Right.
So make sure you find yourself in there. Again, when the state takes your voice but sells your land, who do you hold accountable first? The elected official, for one. Corporate partners, put two. And for yourself, for believing those corporate partners and elected officials, put three. Know your rights. On the state level, this is what you could do in your state. Local officials can pass resolutions refusing to enforce harmful or unconstitutional mandates, especially those 17 unconstitutional mandates that passed. I do want y'all to know they're being contested, and not just in Jefferson County. They're being contested all over the state of Texas, and they're trying to figure out how the hell did this pass. So remember, who lives in your city? Starlink's in your city. Starlink's in your state, Texas. Oh man. Also, public record laws allow you to expose how private money influences state policy. Follow the donations. It follows the trips, and it exposes the contracts and bills that we pay, the ones that we pay. We pay. Because I want y'all to know again, there's not one elected official that's coming out of their poche for nothing. And I guarantee you, nothing, with the exception of their personal bills. And that's if they ain't, never mind. Um, Join or form inner city coalitions that share research. I'm currently doing that right now. That's why I'm not in my normal space. And I don't know. I kind of like this look. The long look instead of that little straight up. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But again, join coalitions that share research, lawyers, find lawyers that's willing to take on some of these cases pro bono, and or not, if not, willing to build a class action case. And um, you could also strategize so that residents is not isolated by county lines. And Texas, I want y'all to know we did that. Y'all red lines, y'all redrawn maps and all that. It don't work. Sorry, it don't work. Roundtable question for this particular segment. If the states have become laboratories for corporate control, what's one practical step we can take right now to reclaim self rule without falling into the chaos they're baiting us towards? Do y'all know what the chaos is? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Okay, so one practical step to start reclaiming our power is we can move our money instead of banking with the giant corporate banks. We can bank with local credit unions. It helps to keep our money funding in the local community. It,
Mhm,
it keeps it keeps funding local community loans and not their political influence.
mhm.
That's one way.
That's one way. That's a good way, too. That's a good way. Pierre, you have the floor. Pierre, he done flew away?
He didn't make us no note.
Go,
Oh,
go
there you
ahead and
go.
get
There you
somebody.
go.
Go to Dustin. I'll catch you on the next one.
All right, that's a bet. Dustin, you have the floor.
My message. Don't even play the game. Go ahead, take your chess piece off the board, and and go and stay at your house and build from there. So like any wrestling fans, when you get tired, you tag out the match. So guess what, America?
Tag you it.
Hey, the rest of y'all, it's time.
And so many people are living off the grid right now.
Man, it's so many people living off the grid right now. And how did you know that that was my one thing?
So
How
you
did
want
you
me to
know
cover
that
you
was
and
my
Perry?
one thing? Yeah, look, I will say, um, the one thing is for us is restraint and removal from the entire system. Just like, you know,
Dustin said.
removal from the entire system. I don't want to pay your lights. I'm not paying your gas. I ain't paying your water. You can't guarantee me fresh water, no way. You can't guarantee me clean air. You can't guarantee me no job. You can't guarantee me non-genetically modified foods. You can't, I mean, like,
It's true.
you can't guarantee me a great bill of health. You can't even guarantee me health. You can't guarantee me safety, security, or protection because we're living in a hostile government takeover. There are there are individuals in our government that's expecting a full on riot. Oh, I mean a full on riot. They want it. They want it so bad that they're teasing even their alliances to kick it off. Being that we won't, we haven't. They want their alliances to kick it off. Those individuals that y'all hear about shooting at officials, that's not us. We're not even on the scene. That's why, y'all, it's not been blown up like we would assume. Even when they said, oh, there was somebody shooting at ICE agents and or detainees. You didn't hear no more about it, huh? Because that was not us. It wasn't us. And it's crazy because they want to bait us in. They want to bait us in so bad, so that they can then call martial law. I just definitely want y'all to know um, they fear what they can't predict, and they cannot predict organized people. 100%. Segment three. This is our local topic, of course, and we definitely uh, want each and every one of you to come out from among them. Build community as government. That's our topic for this particular segment, and this happens on every local front. So, um, they disconnected us so control or- could be or feel natural, right? Most of us don't know the neighbor that lives on the left, right, or behind us, or even the one that that lives across the street. Um, but we know every headline they feed us, especially uh, our CNN and Fox News watchers. Um, but that's how empire wins, y'all. Especially one that's isolated and isolates its citizens one at a time. And they picking us apart. Well, not all of us, of course. Uh, I will say we're starting to rake in some conscious individuals. And conscious don't mean that you're black. Conscious don't mean that, you know, you woke or like, you know, the MAGA believers. Woke is bad. But um, sovereignty starts small. And that's what we're gonna have to build on the local level is sovereignty. Grow food, we've been saying these past few shows. Have y'all not noticed? Um, Share power, teach skills, defend truth, and trust me, we don't need permission to protect each other. They already know that we protect each other. You remember when the gentleman threw his hat at the lake and the brother jumped in the water and the whole pier, the dock got rowdy? We come out for each other. But we're not gonna come out just no, we're not but no. Cause we already told you stay in the house. This ain't got nothing to do with you. Y'all ready for y'all shot? Say yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Dustin, I'm gonna start with you right fast, if I may. How do how do we reach the disconnected, the young, the working, the poor, the discouraged, and make them co-owners, not spectators of this new community movement?
Well, I'm always about to keep stuff simple, so we're gonna hit you with a little three stepper right quick.
One, two, three.
All right, one, talk to the people and learn not to talk at the people.
Mm-hmm.
Learn what they actually care about and tailor the conversation of these issues to that. Two, focus on local community issues. No need to try to save the whole country if the city is messed up.
Yes, sir.
Oh
Three,
no.
use number two to build the connection and a deeper understanding of community concerns. Once they care locally, they'll start to care outside of the local area.
Mhm.
Hmm. I agree. Once you care locally, most of the times you end up caring openly, which then, I mean, like I'm good now. I can care for you. It's like you know what I'm saying? Like they say, my cup running over. It ain't half full, it ain't half empty. It's running over. Now I can take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Very good point, Dustin. Very good. Very good. Very good. The 3 points, brother. One, two, three. Perry, you ready for your shot? Are you at work? I just definitely want you to put a shameless plug in for my niece's restaurant, Perry, whenever you get a chance. Dr. Campbell, you got your
Here.
shot. You want your shot?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
Awesome. What what are the core principles of a true community covenant? One that can't be corrupted, bought, or silenced.
Okay, so a true community covenant is built on principles that are too simple and human to be bought.
Hmm.
Okay. So, number one is radical transparency. All decisions and money flows are public record. No
Hmm.
closed door deals. Everyone sees everything. Everybody gets a report. Number two, mutual accountability. We're all our brothers and sisters keepers. We
Hmm.
call each other in, not just out. The group's well-being comes before any individual's ego.
Yes.
Number three, we decentralize power. No single leader. Roles rotate, skills are shared. This makes the group resilient and hard to decapitate.
Hmm.
Number four is service, not status. Leadership is a temporary chore, not a crown. You serve your term and then you go back to the ranks.
Hmm.
Number five, the people's veto. If a decision doesn't sit right with the community, they can collectively hit pause and reevaluate. The final say always lives with the whole group. It's
Yes.
not just a set of rules written on paper, but a culture of how we treat each other.
Hmm.
It can't be corrupted because its power comes from everyone's daily participation, not from a piece of paper or a politician's promise.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. Especially waiting on a politician to make promises or to
Ugh,
fulfill promises.
really?
You can't even call me back. What you talking about?
Wait, what?
You can't even text me back. What you talking about? You can't even respond to my email that got a whole bunch of people up in it. What you talking
Oh
about?
boy. Oh boy.
What you talking about? It,
What?
better yet, I saw you in a meeting not too long ago. I told you, hold on, brother, wait, let me talk to you. And you walked fast, fast, fast to get away from me. So you know what? I ain't chasing you no more.
Mm,
We're gonna pull
mm,
these
mm.
plans that we're gonna pull all these plans that Dr. Campbell just ran down. Come on, come sit down with the rest of us. Cause you don't know how to lead. You don't know how to represent. Yeah.
Lions,
Dr. Campbell, you
tigers,
gonna
and
give me my
bears.
shot? Or you gonna take Perry's
Absolutely.
shot? Which one? Give me my
Which
shot.
I'm ready either way. What you need me
Give
to
me my
do?
shot. I'll take my shot.
Okay. Okay. What protection protocols must we put in place now to defend our builders and teachers from political retaliation once they realize what we're creating?
Oh man. So
Mhm.
I went in on this particular question uh because it's something that we're not seeing frequently today. And so um one of the things you said, Dr. Campbell, you said it. It was rotation, but transparency and rotation.
Mhm.
Um,
That's what I said.
especially to a point to where nobody sits on power too
Mm,
long. Um, because either it's not going to be beneficial to me and or my offspring. It may only be beneficial to you and your age group, right? Or your safety
right.
net. And so um, it means that, especially for somebody that's alleged to be in positions of leadership, I'm gonna need everything recorded, including your back deal, your off the record meetings, or what they call off the cuff remarks. Yeah, I'm gonna need that too. Um, every dollar needs to be accounted for. Again, I'm gonna say if you pay your water bill, the entire amount, the entire amount of your water bill, there's nothing left over. You got a zero balance, and you come 3 days later, and they call you and tell you, "I'm sorry, your bill was not completely paid, so we had to turn you off for $3.75." Now you know that you looking at your receipt and you see that you paid your entire water bill. Well, damn it, that's what you need to be doing for the elected officials. Follow those individuals. Follow the money that they taking out of your check. If they say on your cell phone bill that they took 13 cents, go find out what your 13 cents went for. Because that's 13 cents times you and 115,000 more people. So make sure you know where your money goes and understand that freedom without accountability just becomes a new plantation.
Mm. So no.
I'm just letting you know. And don't say nothing when that plantation got you working on the train.
Mm.
Don't say that when that new plantation got you sweeping up the dust off of Elon's launch pad. Don't say nothing when that plantation is the same. They're coming for your jobs. They're coming for the black jobs that 45, 47 told us while he was on the campaign trail. And
Mm-hmm.
if you have the finite mind that to not understand what he was saying because you're not in that space, let me break it down to you maybe again. They're coming for the black jobs. They're coming for the jobs meant the Hispanics or the immigrants are not the ones that they want to see in the field picking fruit, vegetables, and others. That's not who they want to see there. And if you could remember for this particular individual who says they're coming for the jobs, this is the same individual that says they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Mm.
And individuals believed that they were eating the cats and the dogs. But mind you, this new plantation, this new plantation that we got is called ignorance. Because the many of us are falling victim to misinformation, and I hear some folks say disinformation, and just disconnect altogether. And I
It's
mean, like, I
stupidity.
understand it. I understand.
Because ignorant and it makes you think you don't know. That's where ignorance come in. You don't know something. No, they know. They just being dumb about it. So that's stupidity.
All of them don't know, Dustin. You know why all of them don't know?
They know.
Because we have boomers. Let me tell you why all of us don't know. We have boomers who are inherent civil rights recipients. They're not civil rights fighters. The fighters of civil rights is dead. Ask Malcolm, he'll tell you. Ask Martin, he'll tell you. Ask Medgar, he'll tell you. Miss Cat, how old were you when Martin was murdered?
3, I believe.
See what I'm saying?
2 or 3, yeah.
Here,
Cause he
how
was
old were you when
wait a
how
minute, wait a
old were
minute.
you?
He was murdered in 65, right?
Just about
Then I was
No, he
1.
was murdered in 68. No, he was murdered in
68.
68.
68, then I was
Yeah, I
4.
was 4 years old. I was
Yeah,
4.
me too.
And that just proves my point. Not calling Miss Catnip generation of the gen of the boomers ignorant or dumb, but I'm telling you what a disconnect is. Why some of us Dustin is stupid and some of us just ignorant. Now, if you were older than Miss Cat, if you were in your teens or early twenties when Malcolm Martin when all that went down, you are I'm gonna say it again. You are a piss poor excuse for a leader in our community. You are not the window, the mirror. And we need things to be revealed, and windows reveal, especially the higher you go up, the more you see. And that's why I've identified or I try to let us know that there is a divide. There is seniors, I'm a senior, to somebody. And then there's elders to somebody. I consider Miss Cat, I consider Dr. Campbell an elder because she pours in, she lifts up, and she pushes forward. She's not a senior that just sits by idly and watch us run into the wall without saying, "Hey, baby, just turn a little bit." That's why we're in the position that we're in. That's why we have to identify, "Hey, neighbor, how are you, neighbor?" And then if that neighbor don't speak, just like me and Dustin said a little while ago about the standard, I'm not gonna speak to you no more, neighbor. You ain't got to worry about me speaking to you no more. That's it. That's done. I'm done. We found out you stupid. You're not ignorant. You stupid. Um, Perry, your shot. If folks are starting, um, I'm sorry. Good. Folks ready to start from zero. What's the first to build? Food, housing, safety, or education, and why? In no
Uh,
particular
but
order.
well, I think if we just start with what is the Maslow's principle, I mean, you have to start with necessity. Uh, just the basic necessities of life, food, water.
What he said?
Yeah, you kind of muffled.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Microphone way in the other room.
Okay, I keep forgetting I had this mic. No, I think we have to start off with Maslow's principles, right? I mean
Mm,
that food, water, the basic necessities of life is where we start. Uh, but to your point, Chris, really want to go back to that one in terms of what we are passing down.
mm,
And we really have to be critical and accountable to what we're passing down. And I can only speak to uh, my generation and Dr. Cat's generation is that we were in that uh, group of recipients of Voting Rights Act who um, who didn't pass down principles correctly. And I just have to say that I have to be very honest. I mean, we faked it till we made it, and some of us are still faking it.
mm,
And we've not been honest about the fakers. We've not been honest about how those we have described as making it, how they've made it.
hmm
And so to your point, yeah, it does matter that uh I heard one guy say, man, if I had a quarter for everyone who said they were at the March on Washington, I'd be a millionaire. I feel the same way. I feel the same way about the Million Man March. And I was there. We have these historical seekers and those who try to say that they were part. But when you really peel away that skin of that onion, you find out that you're really just
Prison.
you left you left with tapioca pudding. I mean, there's nothing there. There's nothing filling. There's nothing substantive. And that's something that we've got to really be. Uh, we've got to address it. We're at a critical point that we have got to address it in terms of how do we build leadership from here, because we can't we I mean because we're sort of taking we're taking these steps. We want to start with uh Malcolm. We want to start with uh Barbara Jordan. We want to start with Mickey Leland, and then all of a sudden we make this grand leap and we get to Obama.
No, 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 not in Beaumont. Not in Beaumont. You cannot. Not in Beaumont. You got to at least mention one or two somebodies. And if you don't mention them two, they'll assume that you have no idea what you're talking about, young man, young woman. You didn't say, and you didn't call this name. So you call Barbara Jordan, you call Mickey. We was right there with him. I don't see you nowhere in the documentation nor the pictures. And I was at TSU all day today.
Right.
I ain't see you. I ain't see you. I ain't see a mention of you. Hmm. Flashpoint. Chat this for y'all. If your community could only start with one system to replace the broken one, what would it be? Put a one in the chat for food networks. Put a two in the chat for housing trusts. Put a three in the chat for people's court and defense teams, or put four in the chat for community schools. Again, if your community could only start with one system to replace the broken one, what would it be? Food networks, housing trusts, people courts and defense teams, or four community schools? Anybody want to answer that? Dr. Campbell? Dustin? Which one would you pick? Perry, which one would you pick?
Gotta be food. Without food, and the rest of it means nothing.
Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
I would say community schools so I could teach you how to grow. I could teach you how about money. I could teach you about power. I could teach you all these different things. But I
You
I'm
see
can't learn
cool.
you.
on an
You
empty
could
stomach.
I'm
you
cool, but I'm
can.
Right.
hungry.
Yes, you
I
Like,
can.
understand that. Right. Yeah.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
So
oh,
food
looking
is
for
the
shortcuts on
foundation.
that one.
Yes, you
Right.
can.
If I'm hungry,
You
I'm
can
looking
learn.
for a shortcut.
You can learn on an empty stomach. You know how many people we teaching currently in Beaumont, in the city of Beaumont, on empty stomachs?
and
And
that's
that's
why
why
our
you
test
schools
scores
fail
are
us.
where they are.
Hey. They still learning, whether they learning what we teaching them or they
I'm
learning
gonna
what
let you
the
know,
community
like I
teach them.
told my teacher in high school. Look, we're gonna have to
Which
pick this up
one?
after lunch.
You don't go back to that class after lunch, Dustin.
Nah, I
Right.
had a split. I think it was
Oh,
what
you had that
algebra.
split class.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
I
Cause
can't hear you over this growling.
once Thumb came over, he messed up the lunch schedule.
Man, I do. Know your rights. This is on the local side. You have the right to form neighborhood associations, co ops, or mutual aid networks without government permission. Just like I told y'all last week, whatever grant the city is writing, you could be their competition. Believe me when I tell you. You can draft people's charters and push for local ordinances protecting food security, safety, and shared land ownership. That community land trust that me and Miss Cat been hitting back and forward like a ping pong ball. We're trying to lace y'all up. Is what we've been doing. And just like Dustin keep hitting y'all with these pop, these one, two, threes, pop, pop, pop. We trying to lace y'all up. We trying to activate y'all um into a space where you're not left behind, right? Because we've already been identified what needs to be done. We're moving forward now because we see, especially after these last elections, plus these last laws that were passed in the state of Texas, and ain't no telling what else these kind of laws or removing liberties of the people. So again, document, publish, and record every act of obstruction or intimidation. Transparency is your first shield. And I said, or intimidation. If you speak out and you notice something happened to you because you spoke out, that's a lawsuit. That's called retaliation. Hello? I told you I like to sue. I love a sue, man. I'm gonna take all you work, all you got. The roundtable question for this particular segment is: if the system is collapsing by design, what must the liberated people build in its place, and how do we keep it honest, inclusive, and accountable once it grows? Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
A liberated people must build a system rooted in local human scale power. And here's how. So, what you're going to build networked communities, small self-governing groups, towns, neighborhoods, or blocks that can
Mhm,
handle their own food, safety, and care. These groups then link together for larger needs, forming a decentralized web of power. Number two, a rooted economy. Local banks, credit unions, um, worker co ops, and community land trusts that keep wealth and resources circulating within the community,
mhm,
not drained by distant corporations. How to keep it honest? Radical transparency. All financial and decision making records are open to every member. No
mm,
closed door deals. Rotating leadership. Roles are temporary
mhm,
and responsibilities are shared. No one gets to be a career politician.
mm,
And number
mm,
three, the people's veto. Any major decision can be paused or brought directly to the community for a vote. Final authority always rests with the people, not a committee.
mhm.
The goal is to build a society where power is so spread out and grounded in daily life that it can't be bought or sold. It's not a top down empire, it's a garden of self-governing communities.
Yes, 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 indeed. Yes, indeed. Perry, you have the floor. You on mute.
Yeah, Chris, you and I were talking the other day, and I was sharing with you um, about how I think it was maybe after my sophomore year in college, I came back home to Beaumont and visited friends who had apartments. I mean, they, not their own, but it may have been two that were sharing, three that were sharing, or whatever.
Mhm,
Um, and that inspired those like myself. I mean, who were in school. I mean, I didn't think of that as a shortcut, but
mhm,
it definitely was an incentive to pursue the path that I was on so that I could get there as well.
mhm,
And to now see that we have a generation of kids who, even if they aspire to be on their own, that dream is as elusive as if we were telling them, you could be president. You can grow up to be a senator.
And
It
they ain't
is,
pouring nothing into them about president or senator.
or even
Oh,
the economics of that, or even help establish the economics of their own community.
uh, man.
It the housing market is based on interest.
Right.
As they say, location, location, location. But
Location.
really, housing is based on a different principle. It's based on establishment. It's based on one's own self survival. So, how have we abdicated what is essential? I mean,
Yeah.
you can't really establish family without a homestead.
Yeah.
I mean, we got families living in cars, but but the essence of family starts with a structure.
Yeah.
So I think it really begins there with how do we control, even if your domain is nothing but 4 square blocks. We got to control them 4 square blocks.
Yeah. 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 Dustin told us what, 2 weeks ago, 2 shows, 2 episodes ago. Blocks, city blocks are made in blocks for a reason. Take
Right.
advantage of that, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and it's so much, it's so much military knowledge that flows from, I know for sure, from me and Dustin, to where I know like people are like, I don't understand that. But you lying. You can't. It's broken down to the least common denominator, and if you don't if you don't understand that, I'll just say what Dustin said. You stupid, Craig. You
Right.
stupid. Just
Right.
100%
And
stupid.
we got to identify the stupid from the ignorant because they not the same.
They are not the same. They are not the
The
same.
ignorant just don't know.
Like Dustin said, they don't know, but the stupid don't want to know no better.
Right. The stupid don't want to know no better. Now we got to identify and
Yeah, we
quit
know.
and quit wasting energy on stupid people.
Yeah, we know the stupid because we keep electing the stupid. We keep seeing the stupid elect the stupid, and the rest of
Mm-hmm.
the people that's like, nah, I know they're not. They're stupid. They can't be that stupid, but they that stupid because they keep electing the stupid. Dustin, you got the floor. Coffee.
Check my notes. I say for the question, take extreme detailed notes of how we got to where we are now and constantly remind them of their failures. Because I feel that allowing the South to still tell stories as if they won the Civil War is the reason we are where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
We allowed them to teach their up and coming stupid kids that that's how it went. So they actually believe it because they don't know no better. Because you can't even really teach what happened in school. So whatever their stupid parent taught them is what they believe. And now they done got their stupid butt in the office and they trying to bring the Confederacy back. For what reason, I don't know. But if you know anything about history, it actually didn't last that long in the first place.
But they said the South shall rise again.
I'm just let you know, the South don't even like y'all.
Oh man, man, oh man. I will say, I will say, um, I keep hearing people say, especially um, people that claim sovereignty, but sovereignty isn't a slogan that you could just throw out there, and it it moves in your favor. I just definitely want you to know that. Um, if this system is collapsing, um, sovereignty has to be the structure. It has to be the base. It has to be the foundation of what we're going to build in our cities. Sovereignty has to be the structure, the base of the structure. Um, the moment we act like government or act like the government for our own or of our own, then we stop begging the ones that put us in this position in the first place. You betrayed again. My great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother, my sister, me, my aunts, uncles, and um, for the life of me, you still on the ticket. You still want me to vote for you. And I saw how you deprived those individuals in my past, or even me currently, and how you're setting up to deprive even the child or children or family, or like Perry said, homestead that I'm trying to establish. And so you have one or two things that you need to do. Um, Participate in a process that is being hijacked, or participate in building community so that you as an individual do not become the culprit of whatever this plot, plan, or procedure is going to be under this current administration, as well as here in this particular state. Again, I live in Texas, and many of our listeners and viewers, I'm sure, live elsewhere. But I I do want you to know, if you're talking about building community, being sovereign, you're gonna run into some opposition from individuals that may even look like you. And again, you're going to have to identify those individuals from friend, foe, or ally. And you're going to have to put those individuals in their space. Allies is not friends. That's not the same. That's not the same people. So, yeah, that's what we're going to have to do in order to to bring ourselves to a space of sovereignty, especially um, political sovereignty, economic sovereignty, residential sovereignty in our own spaces. Again, land trusts, all the things that we go back to episodes, go back to last episode, go back to episode before that. And I guarantee you, all of it is going to bring you back right in. So, Dr. Campbell, give us something that's going to last us for the rest of the week. Perry, you can follow her. Dustin, you got it after Perry, and then I'll close us out. Dr. Campbell, you have the floor.
Okay, let's see here. The powers that be have always told you to wait for the cavalry. The truth is, we are the cavalry. This
Mm-hmm.
week, remember, let my people go wasn't a request, it was a declaration.
Facts.
Now we're building the promised land ourselves, brick by brick. So let's practice Ujima, collective work and responsibility. Let's build our own table, not beg for crumbs from theirs. Our
Exactly.
unity is our wealth. Our cooperation is our power. Keep it for us, by us.
Yeah, boo boo.
Uh huh.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Perry, you have the floor. You muted.
Okay.
You there?
I I I appreciate what Dr. Campbell started us. Um, I was sharing with Chris earlier today. It's a scripture in First John because it's amazing. I'm a preacher's kid, but I hung out on the cuts, and I wasn't a spectator on the cuts. I was actively participating on the cuts. If you was on the cuts, you know what
You
the
know
cut
what the
was
cut
like.
was
But it
about. Yes, sir.
right. And you know, no, I don't have titles. I don't aspire to have titles. Uh but what has led me to where I am is still the teachings I had in the beginning. And when we think about our kids today, it is a shame before God
Hmm.
that they don't have a teaching that they could say, "Ooh, I remember."
Come on now.
And we've raised some generations of kids who don't have that to lean back on. They don't have community to lean back on. They don't have an old teacher to lean back on. They don't have a church to lean back on. I ain't even got to government.
That's just
I'm
in the
talking about
community.
that's just what I depended on long before I knew I even needed to depend on government.
Hmm.
So I mean in these and I love these discussions. But Chris, as I say, we standing in that gap between putting it where the goats can eat it and folk just trying to stay dumb. And we have to come to grips with that because we've been under an illusion that just because you elected meant that you understood.
Hmm.
Just because you were elected, it meant you understood the laws and you practiced the laws and you were a student of the laws. We thought that when we elected you
Mm-hmm. You at least knew what you was talking
that you
about.
were going to take the principles of learning.
Mm-hmm.
You understood that you didn't know. No, we elected on a promise,
Hmm.
on a hope. And that says something to us that you would just throw a hope out and act like, okay, well, if it come back, okay.
Hmm,
It
hmm, hmm.
violates our theological principle. It violates it even violates just gut. good human sense. And I'm just like y'all, we've got to start putting it where the ghosts can eat it, because I just believe people have lost their goddamn mind. And I'm
I
leaving it.
agree. I agree. I agree. Either they lost their mind or they ain't have one in the first place. Dustin.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna pull my notes. Being the day that it is, the
Choose.
word of the week is veteran. Mm. And I quote, a veteran is a person who has served in the armed forces with a common definition in the United States specifying that the service member was discharged under conditions other than dishonorable. And, being in my career field, there's a thing called the IG inspection that you have where someone of your same career field has to inspect that you're doing your job correctly and you know what you're doing. So, in able to do that, they have to be certified in your job or basically experience what you experienced. So why there's so many non-veterans in government trying to control what veterans have, control our benefits, control our health care, and control all these things. If your coward ass couldn't sign up for at least 2 to 4 years, please shut up.
Please shut up.
That go to Mr. Brown Spurs, that's at president. Tommy Tuberfield, who failed as a college coach, and now he out there. The other loose neck skin looking boy that's up there at office. All y'all, leave veterans alone because y'all don't realize we are very dangerous folks if you start pushing at us. Because some of us are calm. Some of us
I'm
have
calm.
PTSD for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them have a whole lot of leave them the hell alone built up in them.
Mm-hmm. And it ain't PTSD.
So I suggest you leave them people benefits alone. You let
Mm-hmm.
them get whatever mental health care they can get to.
Mm-hmm.
Because the worst of us can hit you from 500 yards away.
I'm trying to tell you. I've
But
been
y'all
trying to
take that
tell her.
with what y'all want.
Been
Better
trying to
tell
tell
them.
her. Been trying to tell her.
I keep trying to tell folk there's a book called Bring the War Home that folk need to understand,
Hmm.
that is based upon just that military principle.
Trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Family. Of course, y'all know I definitely want to say a thank you to all service members of our armed forces on today. As Dustin alluded, that today is Veterans Day. Shout out to all of those that were honorably discharged from the United States Armed Forces, and to those that are chaptered and or dishonorably discharged. I'm sorry. Ma'am, sir, you are not considered a veteran. But happy Veterans Day to all veterans. Thank you for your service. We
And we
appreciate
thank
that.
you for your service too, sirs,
Thank
both
you
of
for it.
you.
Yes, we
It's a
do. Both of
pleasure.
you, Dustin and Chris. We
It's
thank
a
you.
pleasure to have served. Thank you all. Family, this system has declared itself against us. And don't pick a person. I said the system has declared itself against us. They want us furious enough to burn or tired enough to blow. Kaboom. Or even tired enough to bow. Because some of us are bowing. Others, like Dustin said, we are not going into that night. We are not going to that sweet darkness. I'm trying to tell you, especially without a fight. Um, we'll do nothing before we compromise ourselves. Um, but this is what we need to do before we participate again and allow our governments to play in our face. We'll build. We're going to definitely build. We're going to 100% educate even those in um, I'm not engaged in politics spaces. We're going to educate those individuals as well. We'll secure, like I said, safety, security, and sustainability is something that is needed in everyday life, especially in our communities. Most of our information is in spaces that some of us don't even attend, like court or historic libraries. Some churches have our documents, legacy documents, and those spaces must be secured, right? Or those documents must be secured. Um, and we plant more than just seed in soil. You understand that? Um, we'll withdraw from what poisons us in a space of things that we try to eat, air that we breathe, water that we bathe in. And when I say air that we breathe, I'm talking about the sewer that runs on the street that we breathe. We breathe that. Um, let them joke about ending elections because most of us already done threw our hands up anyway. And some of us are ending obedience. We're tired of being obedient to a system that has no idea what we need. Because if we don't at least engage our community in a space of sustainability, renewable, uh, resilient, not just resilient like Perry mentioned, but willing to fight, willing to bleed, to protect what we have developed, what we built, and what we believe in. I just definitely want you all to understand if you are not a part of a group that is going somewhere, build one because it is you against the world at this particular moment. And you have to understand that you are not going to be as resilient as you think you will be by yourself. In this country, you will not. So I will ask y'all to stay wise, stay disciplined, stay alert, and never, ever allow fear to creep in. Because we with y'all. We got to live this too, right? But remember, y'all, stay prayed up, stay prayed up, stay prayed up. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good night. Ah,
Later.